You've probably seen a Yorkshire Terrier and thought, cute little dog, nothing too special. But here's the thing, Yorkies are genuinely one of the most misunderstood breeds on the planet. People assume they're just a fancy handbag dog, a companion for someone who wants something small and decorative. And that assumption, it costs owners big time. Because a Yorkie is not a small version of a calm, laid-back lapdog. It is a completely different animal, wired differently, built differently, and designed for a kind of life most people would never guess just from looking at it. And if you're living with one, or thinking about getting one, what you're about to hear will change how you see this dog entirely. Here are 6 ways Yorkshire Terriers are genuinely different from other dogs. And we're not talking about size or coat color. We're talking about things that actually matter for how you raise them, train them, and live with them. Number 1. Their coat is structurally closer to human hair than dog fur. Most dogs have a double coat, a soft undercoat beneath a layer of guard hairs. That's why they shed seasonally and why you find clumps of fur on your couch twice a year. Yorkshire Terriers don't work that way. They have a single-layer coat made of fine, continuously growing hair, not fur, and it behaves almost exactly like human hair. What that means for you is surprisingly significant. They don't shed the way other dogs do, which makes them a popular choice for people with allergies. But it also means their coat never stops growing, needs regular trimming, tangles quickly, and requires brushing in a specific way to avoid breakage. You can't treat it like a normal dog coat. If you run a slicker brush through it aggressively, you're going to damage it. If you skip brushing for a week, you're going to be dealing with mats that go right down to the skin. Other dogs with double coats essentially manage a lot of their coat health through natural shedding. A Yorkie can't do that. Their coat health is entirely in your hands, every single day. Number 2, they were bred to hunt, not to sit on laps. This is probably the biggest misconception people carry about this breed. Yorkies were developed in 19th century England, specifically in Yorkshire, to work in textile mills and coal mines, hunting and killing rats. They weren't decorative, they weren't companions for the wealthy. They were working terriers, doing a tough, physical job in tight, dark spaces. That history is still very much alive inside your Yorkie today. The prey drive is real, the tenacity is real, and the fearlessness is absolutely real. Your Yorkie will go after something larger than itself without hesitating. It will dig, chase, and investigate with a level of intensity you'd expect from a dog 3 times its size. What this means practically is that your Yorkie needs more than a walk around the block. It needs mental stimulation, problem-solving opportunities, and activities that engage that working instinct. A bored Yorkie doesn't just sit quietly, it finds something to do, and you probably won't like what it chooses. Number 3, their confidence operates entirely independently of their body size. Most small dogs develop what people call small dog syndrome, reactive, yappy, nervous behavior that's actually anxiety wearing the costume of aggression. Yorkies are different. Their boldness isn't anxiety, it's the genuine article. A Yorkie that walks up to a German Shepherd and holds its ground isn't acting out of fear. It genuinely doesn't register the size difference as relevant. That comes directly back to their working terrier roots. Rats aren't small animals when you're the size of a Yorkie. The job required a dog that didn't calculate odds. It just acted. That trait is baked so deeply into the breed that you see it in dogs today who have never worked a day in their life. The implication for you is that early socialization matters enormously, but not for the reason you might think. It's not about making your Yorkie friendlier, it's about giving it enough exposure to the world that its natural confidence is channeled appropriately. So it's bold in the right situations, not just every situation indiscriminately. A well-socialized Yorkie is one of the most self-assured, compact small dogs you'll ever meet. And that combination of compact size and genuine confidence is something very few breeds actually offer.
Number 4. They bond deeply with one person in a way that most breeds don't. Yorkies are not evenly affectionate with everyone in the house. If you've lived with one, you already know this. They pick a person, sometimes within days of arriving, and that person becomes the center of their world. They'll follow that person from room to room, position themselves as close as physically possible, and notice the second that person leaves the house. This isn't the same as general friendliness or even loyalty. It's a specific, almost laser-focused attachment that sets them apart from breeds like Golden Retrievers or Labradors, which spread affection broadly and adapt easily to different handlers. A Yorkie forms a primary bond that influences everything from how it responds to training, to how it reacts to strangers, to how it handles being left alone. For the person they choose, this can feel incredibly special, but it also means that if that person is frequently absent, or if multiple family members are competing for the dog's trust, you can see anxiety, jealousy, and behavioral problems emerge. It's worth understanding this dynamic before it becomes an issue, not after. Number 5, they have a remarkably long lifespan and the health challenges that come with it. Yorkies routinely live to 13, 14, and even 15 years. That's not unusual for small dogs broadly, but Yorkies sit at the longer end, even within that group. What that lifespan means is that you're looking at a much longer commitment than most people factor in, and a different set of age-related health conversations than you'd have with a larger breed. One condition that's almost uniquely common in Yorkies is tracheal collapse, a progressive weakening of the cartilage rings in the windpipe that causes a distinctive honking cough and can worsen over time. It's managed, not cured, and it's directly linked to how you walk your dog. A collar puts pressure directly on the trachea, and for a Yorkie, that pressure over years matters. Harnesses aren't just a style choice for this breed, they're a genuine health decision. They're also prone to Legg-Calvé-Perthes disease, a hip joint condition that appears in young dogs, and portosystemic shunts, a liver abnormality that can affect how their body processes toxins. These aren't rare edge cases. They're conditions a responsible Yorkie owner should know about before they're facing them at a vet appointment. Number 6, their digestive system is fragile. You would never guess it from watching one sprint across a yard with complete confidence, but Yorkies have one of the most sensitive digestive systems of any breed. They are particularly prone to hypoglycemia, low blood sugar, especially as puppies, and especially if they skip a meal or go too long between feedings. In small puppies, this can turn into a medical emergency faster than most owners expect. Beyond blood sugar, their small stomachs mean rich foods, sudden diet changes, and even mild stress can trigger vomiting or diarrhea quickly. A lot of owners make the mistake of treating them like a small version of any other dog and feeding them the same way on the same schedule. But Yorkies need consistent, frequent, appropriately portioned meals, not because they're fussy eaters, but because their metabolism is working at a completely different speed than larger breeds. This is one of those areas where understanding the breed specifically, not just small dogs in general, genuinely protects your dog's health. So that's 6 ways Yorkshire Terriers are genuinely different from other dogs, not just physically, but in how they think, bond, age, and experience the world around them. If you found any of this surprising, that's exactly the point. This breed rewards the people who take the time to actually understand it. If you want more content that goes beyond the surface on specific dog breeds, the stuff that actually matters when you're living with one, make sure you subscribe. We cover what most pet content glosses over, and there's a lot more coming.